Schmitz with WLB TV 40 Toledo, 25 Capitol Commons Drive, Toledo, Ohio, 43615. WLB attorney on this matter is Phil Graham, Mr. Riley, Mr. Goldsmith, excuse me, Phil Goldsmith. Mr. Riley, Mr. Goldsmith sends his best regards to this evening, as fellow members of the bar. He was not able to be here because he is the attorney on record for Bedford Township, Michigan, but he wanted me to bring this letter and read it to you this evening as his official statement. Dear board members, please be advised that the law firm Leonard Graham & Goldsmith, PLC, represents WLB TV 40. On behalf of WLB TV 40, I wish to inform the Palmyra Township Board of my client's position regarding the language in your current draft ordinance on wind energy. It is my understanding that the Township Board may be voting tonight on the sections concerning radio frequency, as well as the wind energy ordinance on the whole. I want to respectfully encourage the Board to adopt the proposed radio frequency language without any amendments whatsoever. That was written by myself and Mr. Eric Jinks, Vice President of Science and Technology of WLB. Failure to do so will result in my client being left with virtually no alternative but to file an action in the United States District Court for the Eastern District, Southern Division of Michigan, seeking temporary and permanent injunctive relief, allowing the wind companies to proceed forward without scientifically adequate mitigation provisions in the Palmyra Township ordinance would most certainly cause irreparable harm to WLB TV 40. I believe there is a very high degree of probability that WLB will prevail at a temporary injunction hearing based on the merits of the case for all the reasons that have been officially submitted in hundreds of pages to both the Palmyra Township Planning Commission and this board. While some of the Township Board may not feel that the possibility of litigation has anything to do with the board, that view would be very short-sighted. It is correct that WLB's complaint, which would likely be filed during the application process, would not name the township. However, if WLB prevails on the merits, there will never be construction of wind turbines in Palmyra Township. That would result in a loss of tax revenue, no lease payments to landowners, etc. Please understand, WLB is not opposed to wind energy and the responsible side of wind turbines. However, it is paramount that scientifically adequate mitigation measures are provided for within any ordinance the township adopts. I sincerely believe that WLB TV 40's language is fair, scientifically based, and legally enforceable. If WLB's language is adopted without amendment, my client will be at peace, as it will have accomplished its goal of protecting the people that you represent from unnecessary harm that most assuredly would come their way if scientifically sufficient mitigation language is not adopted. Sincerely yours, Phil D. Goldsmith. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jamie.
Mr. Leonard. I'm just going to read the, I'm not going to take up my 3 minutes. I'm just going to read the last paragraph from what I submitted. Our planning commission worked hard seeking the facts, reading and listening to input from the public, and visiting the wind turbine sites. Ultimately, each individual formed their opinion. From this, we decided on what we felt were the 3 most important aspects of the ordinance: setback, sound, and flicker. We had language to protect the participating parcels, the non-participating parcels, and the township as a whole. We researched the procedures, wording, definitions from other township and other ordinances throughout the state and made this document specific to Palmyra Township. I hope you'll see this ordinance as a document that was put together by concerned and involved residents of this township and vote to accept it as a reflection of significant effort and belief in what is in the best interest of Palmyra Township and its residents.
Thank you, Jim.
Evening. My name is Josh Nolan. I'm one of the directors of the IICC, and I'm here tonight at the request of several of the Palmyra residents. I've got just a few comments for you tonight on the ordinance as it's been proposed by the Planning Commission. One of the main points that I'd like to present is that the current ordinance provides setbacks from existing structures. To continue forward down that path, you will virtually eliminate all future construction in your township. Anyone else who wants to build within the township at that point is either going to have to come to grips with the fact that they're going to have louder noise at their new structure, or they're going to not be able to build on their own property. And I think that's really treading upon the rights of non-participating parcel owners, not to mention the easements that you're basically creating for sound and shadow flicker, for which they will receive virtually no compensation. The other component I think that needs to be addressed in your ordinance is low-frequency sound. There's been a number of experts that have talked to you about that, and according to the developer's expert, Peter Goldberg, the wind turbines don't make low-frequency sound. If that's the case, then they should have absolutely no problem complying with the low-frequency sound component of your ordinance. But low-frequency sound has been demonstrated by a number of experts in the field to be the most detrimental component of wind turbine noise. In fact, Mr. Goldberg himself acknowledges that low-frequency noise in Vermont was the most annoying component of low-frequency noise. So I believe that that's a significant gap in your ordinance that should be addressed in order to protect your residents. Finally, it was brought to my attention that the Planning Commission, I believe, indicated that the on-demand lighting system through OCAS was not approved by the FAA. And that is not my understanding. That's not what they identify on their website. And in fact, OCAS was just acquired by Vestas, the company that manufactures the turbines that the developers seek to put here in Palmyra Township. That would seem to me to make it very simple for them to integrate in an on-demand lighting system and remove the light pollution that your residents will have to deal with from however many turbines they decide to build in this area. So again, that's another component that your ordinance right now, I believe it recommends that they investigate that product, but I believe that that's something that you should mandate because it is definitely a minimal cost and a significant benefit to your residents. And finally, just in the ordinance in general, there are a number of places where it makes recommendations. There are a number of places where there are not clearly defined measurable standards. And as we learned throughout this process over the course of the last year that I've been involved in it, as Mark Twain said, figures don't lie, but liars figure. And if you don't have clearly defined measurable standards with clearly defined protocols, you're going to be subject to that figuring that Mark Twain was about. So that's all I have tonight. Thank you for my time.
Josh, thank you.
Mr. Brewer?
Dave Brewer, 472 Driggs Road, Westfield. I've been told that I will most likely be unaffected because of where my property is situated, so I just want to assure everybody on the board that I'm not here on my own behalf for myself. Nobody's paying me to stand here. I have real concerns for my fellow citizens.
What's your address again?
8472 Driggs Road. In the airport zone.
Okay.
At any rate.
What side of Stuffers are you? East of Stuffers?
Yes. You come over for drinks later? Okay, so setbacks. That's what I always get up here and talk about. Here is one of the best supports of setbacks. The Vestas manual, an earlier version of it, clearly stated that 1,500 feet, you should not get within 1,500 feet of operating turbine. The wind developers will tell you, well, that was been retracted. But the fact is, within 1,640 feet, there's a real threat. It's a documented fact that they can create a 1,500-foot debris field. So if you allow somebody to build a wind turbine closer than 1,500 feet or 1,640 feet to somebody's property, you are in fact giving the wind developer an easement across a non-participating property. You're granting a safety easement. You have now created a zone in a non-participating property where somebody could be injured or killed if a windmill would malfunction and come apart. I've seen pictures on the internet, and they're not fake. They're pictures of windmills that have come apart, 1,500 feet. And they were 390 foot tall, not 500. So, I mean, really think about that. It's not fair to grant the wind developer an easement on a non-participating property without some sort of compensation. That's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Mr. Morlock, the last one on my list.
John Bullock from Exelon Wind, 11710 Hibner Road, Ogden Township, Michigan. I just wanted to say a couple things real quickly, just to reiterate my comments from the last meeting. The Planning Commission spent upwards of a year working on the ordinance and put a lot of due diligence and research into that. And we just encourage the board to move forward with all the work that the Planning Commission did. The second thing, I guess, just based on the comment I heard tonight, as far as the layout that we shared for Ogden Township at our open house last week, and I heard some comments about the bat setbacks in that. Mr. Curta was not our consultant for this project, as he has been on other projects. On this project, our consultant was the Michigan Natural Features Inventory. They maintain the threatened and endangered species databases for the state of Michigan. We've had multiple meetings with the Fish and Wildlife Service, and the setbacks that we use there have been basically suggested by the Fish and Wildlife Service. So they're not something we came up with, they're U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service guidelines. Mr. Curta has not reviewed our studies to my knowledge, so you know, at some point when we get far enough along in the permitting process, all those studies will be shared for review by everyone. The only other thing I wanted to mention, as far as the Exelon goes, Exelon was recognized this week to be part of the Dow Jones Sustainability Index and ranked among the top 10 large utilities by the Carbon Disclosure Project. So there have been some comments about Exelon's environmental commitments and sustainability commitments over the last couple meetings. So that was in the news this week, so just wanted to share that with the board.